As gamers, we have a pretty much never-ending debate. Which mouse do we go with? For years, I've gone with one mouse here, one mouse there, wait till it breaks, wait till it dies, then I get something random. But I've seen a whole bunch of mice selling crazy amounts, getting crazy amounts of attention on social media. Then, of course, you have classics like Razer, who they're always in the game, right? So as gamers, there's an age-old question. The main question is which keyboard to use. We talk about that a lot here. Something we don't talk about much is which mouse to use. So today, we are gonna go over 5-ish different mice in different price ranges and see which one's a sweet spot for you. Now, keep in mind, we're not going crazy in depth in all the stats and specs here. This is gonna be one man's opinion, so your opinion may vary. But if you wanna see what these look like inside and check them out, hang around and we'll get to it. So we're gonna be going over everything from a $2 gaming mouse all the way up to an absolute monster of the ROG Spatha X. Which one am I gonna like? I don't know, but whatever one I do end up liking is gonna be replacing my mouse. So I've had a lot of gaming mice over the years. I have been through Razer, Corsair, Logitech. Now, you guys will notice, any big mice fans out there will notice, there is not a Logitech in here. Yes, the G502 and the G702 are phenomenal mice, but I feel like they've been looked at enough. Some of these may have also been looked at enough too, but these are the ones I wanted to check out, really dig into. The latest mouse I've been using for about the last year is the Pulsar X2 Random Frank P Edition. It has been an okay mouse. If I'm being honest, it's not fantastic. Quality-wise, it feels good. My biggest issue, the scroll wheel. Half the time when I'm scrolling down, it's going up. And this mouse isn't even a year old. So that's a really big ding, and this is a $100 mouse. Don't get me wrong, it's super cool. It's a collector's edition. I'm happy to have it. I just wish it was a little bit better quality. Here in front of us, we're gonna start from the left with a $2 mouse, and we're gonna move all the way up until we hit a monster $150 mouse. All right, so first we're gonna jump into our $2 mouse. This is the Mylang Limit Blade. This is gonna be a short portion of this one. This mouse is gonna be skipped on most of the other tests. If you watch my live streams, you will know why. Matter of fact, let me show you. This is how I felt about my $2 mouse. Oh, there's one piece. Well, you get the idea. If you ever see this mouse for sale anywhere, my first statement is do not buy it. $2 is too much for this mouse. This thing was absolutely horrible. This might have been the worst feeling mouse I've ever had in my life. So what did we do on live stream? Well, I asked the viewers, what do you guys want me to do with it? They voted that I hit it with a hammer. So live on stream, I hit it with a hammer. All right, enough of that one. Jumping up next, if you guys have been around here for a while, you've seen quite a few of these around. This is the Byte Color Storm. They have a few different versions, the Color Storm, blue, pink. Then they have the Fall Shot. The Fall Shot is, well, I'm gonna show them all to you. All right, so here we're gonna start with the Color Storm blue. Now, these mice come in at $17. You can buy them right on Amazon. I'm showing these off because a while back, Color Storm, basically they sponsored the channel a little bit. They gave me a whole bunch of these to give away. I kind of messed up though, because there's a third mouse, it's a black one, and that one got given away, as well as the other 15 or so. But I'm bringing this in, they're not sponsoring this video, I'm bringing this in because I genuinely think they have a solid product for the price. If you're looking for a quartered mouse that has decent DPI, 12,000 DPI and a comfortable feel, this is it. So lower price ranges, it's extremely reactive, it's got a nice cable on it, it feels smooth, decent pads across the bottom, but overall, fantastic mouse for the price. Now personally, I like the black one a little bit better because it fits my hand. The black one's a little bit bigger. So we have two different variants of the Color Storm, depending on what color you're into. And I will say they both look great. All right, so one of my favorite parts about these is the texture. They have a really nice texture to them, very nice soft feel. Great looking RGB on them. Not overpowering, but it looks crisp and clean. It doesn't look like one of those cheap Chinese knockoffs. And while this is made in China, this is owned by a company here in the US, a small startup company. So I'm gonna put links down below. If you guys wanna check them out, go check them out. Jumping right into the second spot down here. Now, keep in mind, I'm gonna be unboxing all these right now, but I'm going to be testing them all for a good amount of time. So I'm recording this video quite a ways ahead of when I'm actually releasing the video. I have already started testing a couple of these. We'll get to that here in a little bit. But for now, this is gonna be the unboxing. If you guys want the overall thoughts, opinions, feel, stick around to the end for that. It's gonna be good. Next up, we have the Basilisk X Hyperspeed by Razer. first off, let's take a look at the box, check out the stats here. Hyperspeed technology, advanced optical sensor, ultra long battery life. Then we also have onboard DPI changing. It's got the Razer mechanical switches in it. This one comes in right around $45 to $50 depending on when you get it. If there's a specific mouse or a specific price range you guys want me to check out, let me know. I'd be happy to. All right, so typical unboxing for a Razer. Got your user guide right there. Oh, this one has a AA battery. I didn't expect a AA battery, but I have heard that AA batteries in a mouse, if they're a decent mouse, can last a really long time. I don't love it, but it is what it is. All right, so here's the mouse. Now, if you guys have ever had a Basilisk in the past, you'll recognize the overall shape. Pretty similar to what they've had for a long time. The materials do feel really nice. You get a nice soft rubber here on this side fin to rest your finger on. Now, I can definitely see an advantage to this because my biggest issue, aside from my scroll wheel on my Pulsar, is my hands are always touching the mouse pad. It's not the worst thing in the world, but that extra bit of separation really helps the mouse glide a little bit more. So coming in, this isn't gonna be upgradable, switchable, hot swappable, anything like that, but it does have a 16,000 DPI sensor. It runs off 2.4 gigahertz or Bluetooth. So I'm guessing right there. Here inside, you're gonna have your AA battery slot. Then right next to it, you're gonna have your 2.4 gigahertz wireless dongle. Now, this is their hyperspeed technology, so you should expect basically no latency as long as the USB device is placed comparably close. Nice little touch here. If you look at the bottom here, it has screws there, but those screws aren't actually holding anything in. They're used to attach to the magnets. So it just kind of sits on there. Now, if you're running it all the time, I don't think that's just gonna pop off, but it's not hard to get to change the battery. All right, coming up next is probably the most advertised mouse I have seen this entire year. Gravastar's new M1 and M2 Pros. This is the M1 Pro. This is the one they sent over to me. The other one is the one I purchased. I'm gonna show them both to you guys, don't you worry. This right here, this is the Mercury M1 Pro Battle Worn Edition Silver Mist. Original price, $129.95. But I believe it's actually on sale right now for about $104, $105. They have a couple other versions coming as low as $79.95 for the very similar overall body shape. So it does tell very specifically which sensor, controller. It has 26,000 DPI. The maximum acceleration is 650 IPS. It looks like it has a 4,000 hertz polling rate, Bluetooth version 5.1, a 400 milliamp hour internal battery, Type-C charging, of course. Now, weight, 88 kilograms. Me personally, weight's never been a huge deciding factor on a mouse for me. Whoa, that thing looks cool. Check that out. What? Oh, it's metal? Okay, I did not know it was metal. That's super cool. Look at that thing. Wow, that is sharp. Okay, so I now understand the difference in price. I didn't realize this. The outer shell on this one is metal. This is the black edition I've been using right here. Feels like the outer shell is plastic, but it feels great, even though it has this crazy, weird looking alien type shape. Now, if you guys are familiar with Gravastar at all, that shouldn't surprise you. I didn't look a lot at the pictures because I really wanted to be surprised. I did not know it was gonna look like this. Gravastar is, if they're great at one thing, it's looks. Now, here is another part that raises the price up a little bit over the M2. So another part that set this one aside is this right here. This is the 4K polling hertz receiver. Basically what this is gonna do is gonna allow you to extend your range, get it a little bit closer, and make this feel indistinguishable from a wired mouse. It even has a couple of custom pads for the mouse buttons. All right, and then the last one we're gonna be checking out here is the ROG Spatha X. This one caught my attention because I am kind of a novice when it comes to mice. You may have already figured that out. We'll get better together. But it turns out this mouse has hot swappable switches. I had heard about it. I haven't done a lot of research into it, but that is cool. First off, the unboxing experience. Look at this. Ready? Just need some smoke to come out, get it going. So this mouse here is the most expensive one in the bunch. This comes in at $150. Pretty sure there's a sale going on for around $125, but when I bought it, $149.99, I believe was the price. So let's dig into this box and see what we got. We have an extremely intricate owner's manual for a mouse, warranty card, carrying case. Has its own fancy carrying case. I'm guessing this is big enough to fit the docking station for charging and the mouse itself. That brings us on to the actual docking station itself. So a really cool aspect to this, my other mouse, it's wireless. Every few days it dies. I use it quite a bit between editing, gaming, browsing, whatever. kind of annoying to have to take that cable and plug it in. So it's gonna be really nice to test this one out when I have a panel to just sit up there and plug in. Basically, you can change out the switches inside. Well, one, if they ever go bad, swap them out, done. Pull them out, put the new ones in, done. Two, different sound profiles. Now, we don't have extra ones coming with this time for a different sound profile, but we are gonna check it out, see how it looks, and we'll get into that. Cool thing about this one is the dock. Don't have to worry about charging it as much because as soon as you're done using it, set it on the dock and off you go. I love that, like to see it. See what else we got in here. Here they are. So here's the actual switches themselves. These ones are a red type of switch. I don't know a lot about the differences. I will be looking more into it when I give you guys my conclusion thoughts here at the end of the video. So you can either have this sitting down flat, or it comes with an included stand in case you want it standing up, like so. We'll test the fitment here in a little bit. It does come with a USB Type-C cable. You're gonna need this to connect directly into the charging dock station there. Very nice cable, nice and soft. I'm gonna start off by saying, if you don't like a big mouse, you're not gonna like this mouse because this thing is huge. So let's start on the bottom here. Right on the bottom here, you have your power on and off switch. You have a pair button so you can link it up. Then you have your two little prongs here, which are gonna connect it and charge it when it's sitting on the dock. Now, in case you do wanna use this wired and not worry about the docking station, you have a USB Type-C here as well, so you can charge it while you're on the go without taking the dock with you as well. So I'm guessing, you know, if you wanna get in there and change out the switches, well, you gotta get to them. There's gonna be 4 hex screws here on the bottom. Top case is gonna pop off. All right. So here on the side, you have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 different buttons, all programmable. 2 side buttons right here as well, next to your left and right mouse click. Now, these are spaced out as well, but just as a quick comparison, the distance is about half of what's on the M1 and M2 Pro. All right, what has been in a couple seconds for you guys has been 7 months for me. We filmed this initial portion back in March, and we've got some things to share. So guys, we're gonna start out with the cheapest. We're gonna work our way up to the top. I'm gonna give you guys my thoughts. I'm gonna pick my favorite, and then we're gonna talk about the giveaway for the ROG. Starting out with the lowest cost mouse here, we have the 2 variants of the Color Storm. Now, honestly, in the end, I've used the blue one a lot. Not this blue one, I have another one in my bag. I've used the crap out of it. There's no color wearing, there's no weird issues. It just works. It's a good solid mouse. I've been using it for about 1.5 years now. Every time I go somewhere, I take it with me. So for $17, this is a good solid mouse. It's not anything fancy, it's not anything special, but it's clean, it looks good, and guys, the price is right. I mean, even if you just need a backup mouse, a travel mouse, or to replace your daily gaming mouse, pretty comfortable. I still wish I had kept one of the black ones though, because those ones are a little bit bigger and a little more comfortable in my hand personally. All right, coming in next. Now, I thought I was gonna hate this mouse because it had a battery, but in the countless amount of hours I've used, this actually became my number 2. The Razer Basilisk X hyperspeed, no joke, became my second favorite mouse. I kept this one right next to the other ones, and this is the one I found myself wanting to swap to most when the battery on my Gravastar would die. So it is an all-around, surprisingly sturdy, comfortable. The clicks feel nice, they sound nice, the scroll wheel works great, which is hugely important to me. No matter what I'm working on, having a scroll wheel is like vastly important to me. So I'm gonna throw the specs up here, all the technical specs people like to see. But yeah, overall, I would highly recommend this mouse, especially in the price point. Now guys, the price point on these, a lot of these have changed in the last 7 months since I filmed my initial recording. So just make sure to check the links out down below. I'm gonna put these all down there, go check them out. Now, we're gonna jump out of order a little bit here because technically one of these is more expensive than the Pulsar, but I gotta talk about the Pulsar, guys. So I initially bought this because it is a collaboration with Random Frank P. He's an awesome tech YouTuber. I'm sure anybody watching this video has heard of him long before you heard of me. There will be no doubt there. But this was his custom edition, RFP. You can see right here, you've got the nice little topographical map going on. I used this mouse for a little over 1 year. If I'm being completely honest, I absolutely hate this mouse. I will not use it again. I'm only gonna keep it because it's a collection, limited edition type of thing. It'll probably go up on a shelf somewhere and just kind of sit there, but this mouse failed me pretty hardcore. Clicking wise, they work okay. Responsiveness, not bad, but that scroll wheel drives me absolutely nuts. Half the time, you're scrolling down it'll just randomly scroll back up. You have to scroll crazy slow with a little bit of pressure, but not enough pressure to click the middle button. So the Pulsar X2, I don't know if this is an issue with all of them. I don't really plan on reaching out for any kind of support because it's a limited edition. All they could do is send me one that's not one of these. But either way, this mouse hugely let me down. And the scroll wheel thing started happening after about 2 months. I have no idea why I dealt with this so long. I just kind of kept using it. Now, spoiler, the M2 is my favorite. In the last 7 months, talking to people about different mice, learning different things that people prefer and preferences, I've come to realize that people think this is a very ugly mouse. Fair enough, to each their own. I love the look. I think it's creative. And most of their concerns, they won't even buy one because they just assume it's gonna be uncomfortable. This is probably the most comfortable mouse I've ever used in my life. Now, just for a refresher, this is the one I purchased. This is the one Gravastar sent me. Difference between these two, you have plastic here, you have metal here. This maxes out at a 1000 hertz polling rate. This maxes out at a 4000 hertz polling rate. So if you're a professional FPS gamer, this is probably the one you'd want to go with, but most professional FPS gamers, they want to go with the light mouse. They care extensively about the weight of their mouse. These aren't particularly light for being all cut out. I'll throw the stats up here for the mouse. The only real difference between the two, so even though this one's made of metal, it's not really any heavier. So the only difference between these two right here is, well, one, when you first grab it, this one feels cold to the touch, and it has the 4000 hertz polling rate. And two, well, this one usually costs $20 to $30 more depending on when you're looking at it. So do I recommend the Gravastar mouse? Absolutely. The M2, it's gonna be my new daily. There's no doubt here. So I'm probably still gonna keep the Razer close by. So this mouse right here will run about 3 days of pretty heavy use, maybe 4. Then you just gotta plug it in and charge it. Well, while it's charging, you just seem to grab the Razer, whose battery just kind of lasts forever. Up until today, I hadn't actually turned it off either. I've just left it on the 2.4 gigahertz setting the entire time, so it's constantly on in a way. And the battery just didn't die. So it's been on for 7 months. It's been used. I definitely have a few hundred hours using this one here specifically. Now, if you guys want me to get further into reviewing these mice, if you guys want me to dig further into them, get more specs, you want me to do some kind of friction tests on the next video, or you want me to do a friction test on any of these right now, you guys let me know down below. I'd be happy to do that. Maybe I'll pop it up on my second channel, coming soon, or I can make a short out of it and share the link with you guys. So on top of that, between using both of these with the games that I play, mainly Escape from Tarkov and an old game, Warcraft 3, I'm a big fan of the old map, Risk, a lot of fun. I could not notice the difference between the 1000 and the 4000 hertz polling. It was completely indistinguishable to me. Now that said, I'm not a professional gamer, but I do pretty well in first-person shooters like Escape from Tarkov, and I still could not notice it at all. My primary gaming monitor runs at 240 hertz, 1080p. So given those stats, given the specs, I'm not really sure the major differences that the average user would ever feel. So if you're looking at these two mice and you're thinking, which one should I buy? Unless you're getting paid to game, probably just go with this one. This thing is phenomenal. Again, I know to some people it looks weird, but if you're unsure because you think it's gonna be uncomfortable, give it a shot. You won't regret it. Yeah, okay, we'll keep the spiel aside. I could not get used to this mouse. I probably spent about 10 to 12 hours trying it out. I mean, I don't have small hands. I don't have huge hands. Pretty average. I could not get used to the size of this mouse. I mean, it is an absolute monster. So rather than have this mouse sit around and go to waste, because the specs in this thing, aside from weight, it's a pretty heavy mouse. But aside from that, the specs in this thing are pretty phenomenal. Along with the customizability, you know, swapping out your clicky, if you will. So we're gonna be doing a giveaway on this. So here are the rules to the giveaway. I'm gonna post a screenshot of the exact same thumbnail for this video on my Instagram. You have to go and you have to like that photo. If I pick your name and you entered in the comments below, that's gonna be part 2. You're not gonna win this time if you're not part of it. Second, unfortunately, again, due to shipping overseas, I cannot ship this overseas. The shipping cost overseas for this is just astronomical. It just doesn't make much sense. So I do apologize for that. This is gonna be Canada, Mexico, and the US only. Second part, I need you guys to comment down below which mouse was your favorite. And then at the beginning of your comment, you need to type giveaway ... That's that's just gonna show me that you fall into this part of the video. So type giveaway ... which mouse was your favorite, why, then comment on the Instagram photo from this page. I'll go ahead and link that down below. We're gonna make it easy for you guys. So on that note, I know this was not a crazy in-depth review of the mice, but I put a lot of time into this. I really wanted to give you guys my genuine opinion on these, just to help you narrow it down. There's a million choices out there for gaming mice. Obviously, I didn't test mouses like the G502, G702, 703. Those mice are already tried and true. There's a million videos out there testing all of them. They're good mice. They have a fairly similar shape to this, minus the wing, a little bit wider, very ergonomic, very good mouse. It's never a bad choice. So on that note, so I don't make this video too long, if you guys missed the part about the giveaway, you better go back and watch it. On that note, I appreciate you guys, and we will see you on the next one.